Be a teacher like Miss Joseph. Very good. I see. Or you could be, who remembers? Say, I can be a social worker. Yes, a social worker.
Hi everyone, my name is Martinique Brown and I am the owner and founder of Today I Want to Be. We are solving the problem of kids and youth not seeing someone who looks just like them in a variety of career fields. We are a career exploration resource for parents and educators, and through our interactive products and virtual interviews, kids and youth are able to see representation of their race and gender in career fields that they may not even know about. With every product we create, from our educational aids to our apparel and accessories, we are intentional about encouraging and helping kids and youth see that they can become anything they want to be. We are the only company who not only focuses on career exploration for kids and youth, but we also give them an opportunity to ask professionals about their careers every month during our free live virtual interviews as student co-hosts. If you are looking for a company that is dedicated to helping your child or student see that they can become anything they want to be, make sure you visit todayiwanttobe.com today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Today I Want to Be Career Exploration interview. I'm really excited about our interview today because we will be exploring the career of a pest control technician. And his name is Alonzo Ferguson Jr. He's going to be talking to us a lot more about what his life looks like as a pest control technician. And I'm really excited about our student co-host, Catherine, who always is able to join us and ask some really thought-provoking questions as well. Now, if you are, watching with your child or your student, make sure you come over to Today I Want to Be or Martinique Y. Brown so that you can actually post your questions or your comments of your child or student, and they can also ask Alonzo about his career as well, because this is all about career exploration. So for them to figure out and see if this is a career field that they're interested in going to when they become older, because I know me personally, I get freaked out. I'm the one that has to call Alonzo because I'm like, not today, Bucks. I can't. But that's why I'm so excited to have him on the show, just so he can talk to us a lot more about what he does and what he doesn't do, and just some, misconceptions that we may have about pest control technicians as well. Now, another great thing about this show is you can actually stay in touch with Alonzo. His email address is listed in that description box as well. And Alonzo, along with other professionals, are featured in our Today I Want to Be products. So what you can also do is you can help your child or student explore different career fields, because that's what it's about, helping them to realize that they can become anything that they want to be. So right there in that description box next to that little buggy, that little cart, you can actually click on that link and it will direct you to our page with our different flashcards on there as well. So Alonzo and Catherine, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us on the show.
You are welcome. You are welcome. So we'll start with you, Alonzo. Can you just tell the viewers just a little bit more about yourself and how long you've been a pest control technician?
Okay, I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I've been in Orlando, Florida area for 8 years. I've been a pest control technician for 8 years. My first 3 years, I just started off as a regular pest control technician. But at the 3-year mark, I challenged the state test and became state certified. Oh, wow. So I did what usually takes 5 years to be state certified. I did it in 3 years. So I am certified by the state of Florida as a certified pest technician.
Come on, correct me. Tell me. He said he is certified. He's not just, he is certified. That's what I'm talking about. So
and he did it quickly too.
Yes. And I'm telling you, when I first moved to Florida, they just had so many bugs. Because I'm from Dayton, Ohio. So shout out to Ohio in the house.
Yes.
Virtual high five. High five, Alonzo.
Yes.
But when I moved there, I'm looking like, come on, where are these bugs come from? I've never even seen these type of bugs before. But Catherine, I'm always excited to have you. Like I said, you always come with some great questions. Can you just tell our viewers what grade you're in and what you're interested in being when you grow up as well?
Okay, so my name is Catherine Nolly. As was mentioned earlier, I'm in 11th grade, and when I grow up, I want to be a software engineer.
Nice. So I'll ask the first question. So Alonzo, what made you even interested in becoming a certified pest control technician?
It was offered to me. I had no idea exactly what a pest technician and why one was needed. Once again, just like you, I came from Ohio. We did not have all of these bugs down here in Florida. So during the first 30 days that we moved here to Florida, we were in our condo and the pest technician knocked on the door. Well, first of all, my wife was freaked out about the big, humongous palmetto bugs. We call them cockroaches, those and the lizards. So I just thought it was a way of life. But like I say, the pest technician, he knocked on the door, came in the condo. And so while he was there, we just got into a conversation and he knew that I was seeking employment, just moving down from Cleveland, Ohio. and he told me that they were hiring. And I watched what he did in the condo. He came in, looked under all the sinks, just behind the refrigerator stove, applied some product, and I said, oh, okay, yeah, I could do that. So the next day I went and applied at Massey Pest Control Company, and they interviewed me, and from there's history. My first 6 weeks, they took me through training. And like I said, I enjoyed what I was doing. And it's more of a service that we provide to the customer. We just don't come in to kill bugs. We come in to find the sources, the avenues, and the conditions that are causing them. Because yes, pests are part of life here in Florida, being a tropical area. And the weather, there's pests all around. We came into their environment. Most of the land around here was citrus groves or farmland. So it's ants, palmetto bugs, the lizards, they're always going to be around. And what we do is we try to eliminate them getting in your home. We don't just control them, we prevent them from entering into your home and affecting your quality of life in home.
That's good. That's good. Now, I do have a question for you, because you mentioned that you are a state certified pest control technician. What is the benefit of becoming state certified as opposed to not having that certification?
Well, the first thing is, once you become state certified, you can open your own pest control business. You are licensed by the state. You don't have to work under a company or someone else's license. Also, you are able to use what they call restricted products. There's different levels to the products that we use. So you're able to do a little bit more as being state certified. You're able to do more than just a regular technician. The state test is about the laws regarding pest control and the products that we use. And also it's more in depth. You have to know the chemical, the reaction, the first aid, you're just a little more advanced. No, you do not have to be a chemist. You just have to,
no, you be a little bit more knowledgeable.
You're just a little bit more knowledgeable and able to read the labels correctly and understand what the terminology is.
Okay.
It's a legal aspect. You could know the law, but then it's another level of knowing the law. It's more of why you do something and why you can't do things under the state of Florida law.
But with that though, let me see for it. But with that though, do you have to get your certification renewed, like maybe every 2 years, every 3 years?
Yes, we have to take continuing education throughout the year, and the continuing educations, and be up to date on all new products that come out. Yes.
Okay. You can go ahead with your first question, Catherine.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask you, what is a day in the life of a pest control technician? But I also want, when you answer this, I want you to explain a little bit more, what they do. Because when I heard about the pest control interview, I was like, what do they do? What's a pest control technician versus just pest control coming in? Yeah.
Okay, as a technician, as my day start out, I check into, I have over 300 customers that are either on a monthly service or a quarterly service. Monthly, we go to the same house or same condo, apartment. You go every month to do a preventative treatment. Same thing, some customers as a quarterly, you go every 3 months. You use different products for the monthly customer than the quarterly customer. So those that have the service, they're on a set schedule. So I know it's a rotation. So I have to check into the office every morning. Well, I get my schedule by the month, so I know what customers, but during the day and overnight, people might call in for what we call pest emergencies, whereas they might have a rodent in the house or an infestation of bugs or something. So that's what I check in the office for, because like I said, I may have my day lined up to do 15 of my scheduled calls, but then in between there, I have to go to a customer that has called in for what they consider a pest emergency. Like I said, that's a biting, stinging, infectious insect or a rodent. Those are considered emergency calls. So my day is pretty routine. Like I say, I have a set amount of customers that I do during the day. I'll check in at 7. We tell the customer that we will be at their home anytime between 8 and 5 p.m. So that's my normal hours. But like I'm saying, me being a certified technician and I'm able to be in a managerial position, I get there early and leave late. So
now with that though, I know that you were saying that some customers may do emergency calls, but you also noted that there's an 8 to 5 schedule. If it's in an emergency and it's after that 5 o'clock, would somebody from your company still go out to that home?
if it's a biting, stinging, infectious insect, or it's a live rodent, we will go out. And we have a rotation. Our company, we answer the phone, is someone to answer the phone 24 hours a day. So the person that answers the phone, they will talk to you and they'll let you know if it's something that could wait till the next morning or something that we have to send somebody out for.
Now, because this is a rotation, do you sometimes have to be on call that 24 hours?
No, I do not. But there is people that are. I chose not to take the on call, the overnight rotation.
I guess you don't want to come in there at 2 a.m. with a rodent in the house.
Yes, so I've opted out of that to be in that rotation.
But that's good.
But I am capable of it.
But that's good that you have a choice. You know, is that really a choice, or is it because you have been there for 8 years, or even is it because you're a state certified pest control technician?
It's all of the above.
Gotcha.
Because what happens is when the calls come in after hours, they go to what they call a manager on call.
Okay.
And so he gets the call and then he'll route it out. Either he'll run it himself or he'll route it out. And like I say, it's all I chose not to do that. I'm a little older and I've been, from my previous professions, I've been on call. I know how it works. And, you know, I have a family, I have a wife. And like I say, I choose not to do it. But like if someone goes on vacation, in my 8 years, I'll say I've only done it 3 times and that was by choice.
And I'm really glad that you mentioned the entrepreneurial side of being a state certified pest control technician, because some people that's never lived in Florida, and I don't know if Massey is nationwide, but Massey is huge in Florida. Go ahead.
We're
what were you
in
about to
8
say?
states. I was going to say we're in 8 states, primarily the southern states. We're in 8 states.
And see, I'm like I said, I'm glad that you mentioned that entrepreneurial side of it, because all it starts is with, you know, one entrepreneurial minded individual, you know, after they get that state certification. And then, not saying like if you want to move forward with your own company, you can. You know, Alonzo is teaching us that, you know, you got to start somewhere, you know? Yes. And so to be able to create your own company and allow it to grow is just, I think that that's just phenomenal, because sometimes people will just stop where they are and they don't think bigger if maybe that idea has never been introduced to them at all, you know, with that.
Yes, and with the state certification, like I said, it opens up more doors as far as in the company as the level to go into management and into corporate and into more research and development. And you have a little more credibility too. And like you say, I can start my own company, you know, when I choose to do that. But right now it's better for me to stay where I am with my certification than to start my own company and compete against the larger company.
So now, what is one thing that is challenging and what is one thing that you really enjoy about your job?
The most challenging thing in the job is when people don't understand the activity of a pest and that every pest is not a threat to them. That's the most challenging thing. You know, facing someone that has a fear
Yeah.
so much of a fear that you just can't convince them that this tiny little ant is not going to kill them, or it's going to bite them and they turn into a zombie. You know, all the sci-fi movies and, all of the fake news that's, out there. That's the biggest challenge, is to try to educate a customer and convince them that
they're not going to turn to Spider-Man.
yeah, you're not going to
I mean,
turn into
they probably won't
Spider-Man.
turn into Spider, but they're not going to turn into like any of the other ones.
No, you're not going to be a zombie. No.
And what is one thing that you really enjoy about being a certified pest technician?
The joy that I get out of it is the satisfaction of when I solve a customer's problem and I'm able to eliminate the pests from their house and give them that peace of mind that they're going to have a pest-free day. And so that's the most rewarding thing, is the satisfaction of the customer, that and that they're joyful and they're happy.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I definitely feel joyful when there are any pests in the house.
Yes.
Definitely. Yes. Now, I don't want to harp too much on Florida, but, do you feel like it's just inevitable that you will have an ant or, an insect come in your house just here and there? Is that like the reality of it all? Even if you do have a monthly service like yours?
Yes, because there's so many ways. And that's, like I say, that's one thing. The challenge is convincing people that it's just so many ways they could come in. We could inadvertently bring them in on our shoes, our clothes. We could bring them in from the grocery store. And like now with the pandemic and everybody getting packages delivered and just left at their front door. So it's sitting out there for a few hours.
Think about that.
And ants and roaches from where the palmetto bugs from outside, they crawl into the corner of the boxes. Okay.
Hopefully not.
And I mean, it happens. We see it a lot. And you bring the box in your house, you sit it on the counter, you sit it on your bed, you open it, you leave the box there, you go do whatever you want with what came in. And then later on, you go to move the box, you see an ant, you see a scorpion, an earwig, a roach, you see something, and then you're calling me. And so I come out, and like I say, I do my detective work and figure out, hey, it came in the box. A lot of, Martinique, from up north, we had to put weather stripping around our doors and windows to keep out the cold weather.
Right.
Here you have to do it to keep out the ants and roaches because of their physiology. If an ant or roach, they're crawling across your door, they can feel like that temperature change. So like today, 93-degree day, and it's hot and it hasn't rained, and they come across your door and they feel that temperature change and the moisture, they'll crawl, up under your door and come in. So if it's just one or two in, it's no big deal. That doesn't mean you're infested. Also, a lot of people here are on septic tanks and the drains and the sewers, and bugs can come back up through those. Frogs could come in through your toilet, snakes. So
what? Wait, is someone's frog? That's the conflict. Have you had to deal with that? Is that actually happening in your career? What?
Yes,
really?
Yes.
Oh no, that's another thing. Now I have to worry about some frogs in my toilet.
Yeah, and in your toilet, well, every home has a vent stack on the roof for the toilet, and you have a lot of shrubs and trees touching your house. Frogs, lizards, snakes, they get on the roof, come through the pipe, and come back up through the toilet. Yeah.
See, I really thought that would be another type of technician dealing with snakes and like amphibians and things like that. That's also
okay. We have
area?
a wildlife. We have a wildlife division, and technically, lizards, snakes, frogs, they are not considered pests. Because they don't bite, they don't sting, the infection. But we do come in and we can remove them. And we have a granular product we can sprinkle around your house, like called Snake Away, that we apply once a month, that kind of deter, it's a repellent for that. So, and like I said, we come out and we find the ways that they're getting in, and we let you know that, and we can remove, the typical frog, the snake, or the lizard from your home. And we help you identify the ways that they're getting in your home so that you can prevent that. Like I say, usually it's the weather stripping, putting screens over your pipe stacks that's on the roof of your house, those type of things. And like, keeping your patio door closed, but yes, we do get those type of calls. But if it's a major thing, we do have a wildlife service that we call, That's like for bats. And if you're home, like in your attic, you have a infestation of rats. Because like I'll go up there and I'll put some traps up there to capture them. But if I find a nest or something, then I call in the wildlife people to come and remove the nest to get that out. But on the minor side, yes.
So I understand that that's a characteristic that you have to have, being able to, like, just not being afraid of insects, amphibians, and rodents and things like that. Where do you think that came from, that comfortability, though?
I've just not had that spirit of fear in me from my youth, you know.
Yeah.
If you read my bio, you know, in my bio, I was in the military. I was a nurse and paramedic. I was in the funeral business. And then just looking at the ants, anything that's smaller than me, I know I could defeat it. So that's why, you know, you just always step on the ant.
I wish I could.
That's not me. If I see some snakes coming up through my toilet, I'm running.
Yes.
I'm gone.
Yeah. And I hear people say that all the time. You know, you are bigger than the object, but I don't know. I just don't have that. I don't have that not spirit of fear.
And I've never fed into these superstitions, you know, of snakes and rats and frog. You know, a lot of it comes with just the myths and the superstition, and you know, just families. Word of mouth has just been passed down to people. You know, I find that a lot. You know, I ask my customers, so why are you afraid of the snakes? And the first thing they say, well, don't you read the Bible? And you know, I'm like,
see, that ain't
the Bible don't tell.
No. I'm
afraid
of snakes because they gonna bite me. Then I'm sprawling out on the floor.
Yeah, and then
I'm being poisoned. Yep.
Go ahead.
But see, once you get educated, there's only a few snakes that are venomous that will kill you. You know, even though they bite you, it's only a few of them that's venomous, like the rattlesnake, you know, the cobras, and those are not native to here in Florida. So the most common snakes here are the black racers or the garden snakes. But people, you know, they just have not been educated that those are harmless snakes. They're good snakes, you know, so.
See, that's my point. I saw one of those snakes once when I was walking home from school, and I ran the other direction. I saw that snake, I turned back. I went back to school exactly. I wasn't trying to deal with. But now I know if I see the black snake, I can just hug the snake.
Yeah, they're more afraid of you. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. Yeah, if you ever stand there, they'll run from you. They don't rise up at you, you know, like a cobra or anything, and what you see on the movies.
Yeah. Okay, I appreciate that helping us. But I think my fear is more so if they're in the house, then they do move, like all of those things that you all take care of, they move so fast, you know, and then you can't catch it. And so then it's like, you know, that something that you do not want is in your house and you didn't catch it. Like, that's my fear. And then I'm asleep and it's roaming. Like, that's our.
We're here in Florida, the way the weather is, when they get in your house, usually they will die within 24 to 48 hours because they like to be outside. And in our homes, we have the air condition, which will dry them out.
Oh, that's
just like
good
how
to
you
know.
How you might find dead lizards in your house. I don't know if you ever seen how they get dried out, or a dried up, you know, cockroach or a palmetto bug. I don't know if you've ever seen those. A bug get in your house. They're flipped over. They'll dry out within. That's because they can't survive in the inside. These are not like the German roaches that we have up north that are real nasty. That comes with sanitation. That's another myth. Yeah. People believe that if you see one roach, there's 1,000 of them, and that you have them because you're dirty. No, the palmetto or the American cockroach, they live in the palm trees. They live in the mulch outside, and that's where they prefer to be. They just coming in looking for food and water.
This is so informative. I mean, you really are. I mean, I really like the fact that you told us that that's one of your responsibilities, really, to educate, you know, your customers. So it's not saying that you're going to eliminate that fear altogether, but at least you bring a little bit more comfort, you know, to that person. Like when you were saying, it'll die within the 24 to 48 hours because of X,
Yes.
Y, and Z. So that's really good to know.
Yes.
But you can go ahead with your next question, Catherine.
Okay. Well, what's like one of my questions was common misconceptions, but you sort of went over that. But so I want to know actually what were your favorite and worst moments on the job. So it was like your favorite moment on the job, you were just ecstatic, and worst moment. Either order, by the way.
Okay, my worst moment was was when a customer called me out to their home because they were hearing noises in their attic, and I being fearless, I go up in the attic, and I'm thinking that it might be just a rat or something, and I could just put a small snap trap up there or a glue trap to catch it. So I go up in the attic and it's dark. So I shining my light around to see, because I'm hearing the noise, but I don't see anything. And my flashlight catches the eyes of a possum. And when the light shines on it, the eyes are red. So I see the red eyes, and it's like hissing. So I know it's like a nest up there. So I just slowly backed out, closed the attic, and called the wildlife people, because that was above my scope there, because then we have to call them in, and they'll go in and they'll put a cage up there, and some bait to actually catch them, or they'll put something outside to draw them back out the hole. But that was one of my worst experiences there. Yeah. So.
And what was your best? What's your best story?
One of my best stories is when I'm doing my routine pest control, and like I said, I'm the eyes and ears of a customer's home. And whenever I go to a customer's home, I'm always looking for anything out of the abnormal. I treat their home as though it's mine. So one of my regular customers, I go and I'm treating around their house, and I go around the back of their home, and I could just see water gushing down through the patio window, the lanai window. I could see water coming down. And as I got closer, I seen that it had been like a pipe leak in the ceiling had fell in, and their home was flooding. And at the time, I didn't know they were out of town. But so all of my customers, we have their name, phone number, and everything. So I called the customer right then and said, hey, it's water coming out of your house. It's dripping. And they told me they weren't home. They couldn't get there, and could I try to cut it off? So I went to the street and cut the main source off, called the water department. And they called some people they called security and everything. So I saved them a major $1 million job with just me being attentive and not just walking past their home.
Right.
Another rewarding time is I'm out on the street, and I see a little kid in a diaper, a little toddler walking down the street, and I pick the kid up, try to find out where's he at. And I just go down the street knocking on the doors till I find out where he came from. And I was able to reunite him with the mother and father. They didn't even know he had got out the back door. So it's moments like that are some of the most rewarding, because, pest control, just going in, we apply product to prevent the pest from getting in your home. That's just a little normal and routine, but it's those small moments when you're able to make a big difference in a person's life. Those are my.
That's your rewarding experiences as well. And I know that Catherine, she actually one of her questions was, a major misconception, and you did answer that on the pest side of it. But just as a certified pest technician, what do you think is a misconception of your job, though?
The misconception is that we are just exterminators, and that we just come in and we spray, we apply a product, spray, and that everything is just going to disappear. That once we spray, you're never going to see, an ant, a roach, or anything, or that, like we just got this magic bubble that we're going to put around your house that you never had, So that's the major misconception, Like I say, people call us out, they have the monthly service and they don't understand that yes, we treat around the outside your home, we treat on the inside to prevent the pests from coming in, to prevent them from nesting in your house. But there are things that you have to do as a consumer and be mindful of to also to prevent this. Like I said, be careful where you shop. When you go to your friend's house, you know, we see like now school's just starting back. And a real thing we see, okay, you have kids, they go to the bus stop, they have their book bags, they have snacks in them. They throw their book bags down on the ground waiting for the bus and the snacks. Ants get in the book bag. You know, they bring the book bag home. What does the kid do? They throw it in the corner. Or it's a Friday, it's the weekend, they throw it in the back of the closet. Then when they go, you know, Monday to get it, they find the ants or a roach or something, you know, in there. Now me as a pest technician, I couldn't prevent that scenario from happening, you know. So that's what we have to tell, you know, we're not the magic man, you know, we're pest technicians, you know, and when we come in, we just don't come in and exterminate and eradicate every pest.
Yeah. So, you know, Catherine, I want to ask you a question. I know that, you know, many times, you know, you are interviewing our professionals, and you actually want to be a software engineer. What do you gain from these different interviews?
Well, I gain more knowledge and I gain more awareness of the world, basically. So, like, basically, like, for example, with this interview, I learned more about, you know, how to avoid certain situations. Like for that one, that's exactly what I do sometimes. I might just put my backpack on the ground because my back hurts. And then I'll bring it back home, and who knows, there might be ants around. So I just get to learn more about different jobs, and then I can share this to my friends. So some of my friends, like I have quite a few of my friends saying they don't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
So with me, I can bring this information back. I can inform them. I could bring them over to Today I Want to Be, and I can just show them like. And I can have the interviewees just show them. So like the pest control technician can show them what it's like to be him, and they can show like, for example, I think last week was the judge. The judge can show them how she operates, and they can get rid of those misconceptions. Because after all this time being on Today I Want to Be, I've learned so much about different jobs, and now I just enforcing more about the world and gets rid of my misconceptions, because I've had my own misconceptions just shattered after being on the show.
That is excellent. Thank you so much, Catherine, for sharing that. I do have a question for you, Alonzo. Can you just finish this sentence for us? If your child enjoys blank, they may enjoy the pest control industry.
If they enjoy bugs and if they enjoy learning, about bugs and fascinated, you know, like we, as little boys, you like to play with the ants, the grasshoppers, things like that. Because our business is just not about killing the bugs, because some bugs we can't kill, like pollinating bees. We would have to call in the beekeeper to remove those. So we have to be able to identify the difference between, you know, a killer bee or a honey bee, or pollinating bee, a carpenter bee. So you have to know the different species of bees, just like there are different species of ants, different species of roaches. So if they like bugs, this will be the job for them.
That's good. That's good. And Alonzo, can you just take a moment to turn on your light?
Okay. Oh, the sun has went down.
Yeah, yes, the sun went down. The sun
yes, hold on.
no longer shining in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's that?
Excellent.
Hold on, I have another one. Hold on.
Okay.
I'd also say maybe if the child enjoys investigating or exploring new things.
Yeah.
Like I actually, even though I'm not a boy, I used to like play around with like the bugs and pick up grasshoppers because I was curious, basically. So if your child is curious about learning about the world and just new like things that have to do with the environment and bugs like that, then they would also think it extends.
Catherine, if I could say something to you, let me see. 2 years ago, we went to a digital system. We work on iPads now, where it has the customers loaded in. And with you wanting to be a software engineer, we could use you to design the software to put the category of all our bugs in there, and a software where we could just point the iPad at the bug. You know how on Google you take the picture, but you could come up with a special software to help us in our business to where, as soon as we identify the bug, it'll tell us the treatment for it.
That would be good.
So
Yeah,
that,
that would be.
so you could partner with me, as a software engineer and me as a pest technician. You could do so many things.
That's good. That's good.
It's really, yeah, it's just so amazing how just the careers can cross over. I've seen that so many. I didn't even think about that, and now that you mentioned, I'm like, yeah, that could be a thing. That's really, really cool. It's really, really just amazing to see. So, thank you for sharing that bit of information with me. Thank you. Thank you.
So now I know, Alonzo, you actually mentioned, like when little boys play with bugs and things like that. But can you talk to us about if your industry is diverse with women?
We have several women in our industry that has started off as pest technicians, and they have went up to management. As a matter of fact, my first manager, she was a female, and she's the one who trained me and encouraged me to go on to get certified. And right now, she's at the corporate level as a corporate trainer. But she started out, over 20 years ago as a pest technician. She was the farm girl, kind of tomboyish farm girl. She liked it, and that's what she liked, the bugs, and was interested in it. So yes, it is very diverse as far as female technicians.
And how diverse is it though with minorities, specifically Black men and women?
It's equal. It's equal. Yes, it's very. We have Hispanics, we have African Americans, we have all nationalities at our company. It's just whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be, you could be what you want to be.
That's good. That's good.
And we even in upper management, we have.
Okay, that's good. So now, Catherine, you can go ahead with your next question.
Okay. So next I wanted to know, how do you encourage yourself? So you're getting a call to go into your customer's home and just you don't eradicate the bugs, but you block them from getting invasive. So prevention. How do you encourage yourself to get up in the morning and just be ready to do that? Ready to go.
It's this because I know the satisfaction that I have, the education and the techniques and the training to solve the person's problem. So it's kind of like that Superman syndrome or that hero syndrome. Hey, this is my chance to go and save the day. So that's the big encouragement there. And to know that I am going to make someone's day better, So, and like I said, that's the satisfaction, right? That's the satisfaction right there, is going in, eliminating, solving the problem for the person, and then giving them the confidence and the professionalism that they're going to have a pest-free day and that you're there for them. Like I say, it's the service industry, and that's what you're here for. I'm providing a service for them.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome, and I think that so many times we don't think about that customer service and that problem solving responsibilities that you also have, on a daily basis. And it's like you can never get tired of supplying that next customer with that excellence like that. But can you talk to us about when you do go into a home? Because I know you talked about the cleanliness of a home will also affect what rodents and insects also come into your home. Can you talk to us about just how you had to take on that role of not being judgmental or being respectable when you come into these homes that may not be the cleanness?
Well, I put all that aside. When I go in there, I consider it the art of listening. And so I go in and I listen to what the customer is saying and what their problem is. and I just have to be in a tactful way. You know, I never tell anyone your home is dirty, but I could just say that these things that are here are contributing to the ants, roaches. So I have to be very tactful in that. And like I say, I just don't go in with any preconceived notion. And there's so many elements to how the pests are getting in and why they're harboring there. So I just have to use my tools, you know, to explain to them, you know, without insulting anybody or making them feel bad. So yes, it's the art of listening and just knowing how to deal with people and not being judgment. You know, like I say, it's just the way I was raised and just the training that I have.
Yeah. And is that something that they actually teach you in training?
To some degree, because everybody doesn't have it. You have to have, it's a skill that you develop over time, because some people just can't, they just can't handle it. And they, you know, and you have to be able to hold your emotions and, you know. So they tell you about it in theory, you learn it on paper, but until you're in that situation, you have to. So.
And you have to also be mindful of your facial expressions, because you may not even be saying anything, but if your face looks like,
it away.
If you're looking like you in disgust, then you know.
Well, now that everybody has to wear a mask,
that's true.
You put a mask on in someone's house, so that kind of helped you right there. But it is kind of hard sometimes not to be judgmental. But you always have to put yourself in your customer's shoes, and you don't know what's going on in their life and why the situation is the way it is. So and you're there to solve the problem, and not to be judgmental, but you do the best that you can to solve the problem. Like I say, you identify those conditions, avenues, and sources that is that's causing the problem. You tell them how to prevent it. Like, hey, if you take the garbage out a little more often, maybe that would stop the roaches from gathering. But you know, you don't. It's just the way that you a tactful way to talk to people.
Yeah. And one thing that I was thinking about, I know that this isn't per se on your job description, but you know, since you are dealing with rodents and insects that can be harmful to another human being, do you have to also take in consideration somebody's house and if they have kids? Like, is it your responsibility, if you see a major problem, to report that maybe to your manager or somebody like that?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you know, going into apartments or homes, if we ever see anything that we deem unsafe or harmful, then we take it up the chain, report it to your manager, they report it. You know, you try to document everything. Okay. You know, because yes, if you see, you know, like an abusive situation or someone living in like just total filth, but then too, those type of people normally won't call pest control.
That's true.
Or if like we go to apartment complexes and the whole apartment complex has pest control and you're supposed to treat every apartment, we can't force ourselves into an apartment.
Okay.
You know, you knock on the door and you ask, do you want pest prevention? And either they have the right to say, come in or not come in. But if you peek through the door and you see something that's not right, then you report it to that apartment complex's manager. Okay. And then it's up to them to follow up on it.
Okay. Okay. Yep. I understand.
But we do have that liability of reporting things, you know, that we find that is not safe, harmful. But we don't, as per se, like if I go to a home and I see a bunch of drug paraphernalia, kids running around, I'm not going to call the police myself. Gotcha. But I will report it to the manager and they'll run, you know, they'll go that way. So.
Okay. I'm telling you, there's so many. That's why I love talking to different professionals, because there's just so many avenues that you just never even think of that it's your responsibility to do, you know? So again, I thank you for being a part of Today I Want to Be. But Catherine, you can go ahead with your next question.
Yeah, I also want to make a comment on that last thing, but yeah, there's like I would never know that a pest control technician could do that. So it's just really interesting because you learn so much. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Well, it's just as a
okay, another
person
question.
too. I was just saying, as a
Yeah,
person too, if you see something that's unsafe, you know, like if you're out at the grocery store and you see a dog in the car, you would go in and, tell somebody, a dog or a kid in a heated car.
Yeah.
So it's the same in we have to be observant for everything around us, not just for the pests. And we can't be so tunnel vision or focus. Hey, I'm just here to kill your roaches, just
Yeah.
here to kill your ants. But we have to be observant to all of the surroundings and what's conducive and anything. I mean, that's just as a human being, as a person, not to close a blind eye.
Yeah. True. Catherine, you can go
yeah.
ahead with your question.
Okay. Again, I was also going to ask how's your job improved lives of others, but you can answer this one generally. General, how does your life just improve the lives of others?
Say that question again, Catherine. You was breaking up a little bit.
How does your life improve the
How does your life
lives of
improve
others?
the
How's your job?
lives of others?
The-
Because
Yeah.
my job, I improve the lives of others by keeping out infectious and disease carrying rodents, ants, roaches. That's how I improve. I improve the quality of life, because if those things are in your house, they get in your food, get in, or if you do get bit by something that has an infection. So that's how I am improving the quality of life there, and identifying the harmful pests that can make you sick, from the mosquitoes to ants to roaches, to the rats. So that's
Yeah.
how I'm improving the quality of life for someone.
Did you always think of it that way, just in terms of improvement and growth?
Yes,
That's
that's
good.
one
Okay.
thing was that's the main reason people fear, ants, roaches, rats, because the whole thing of disease and, infecting the food. And so that's one of the main fears that people have. But like I say, not all ants carry diseases. Not all mosquitoes carry diseases. Not all roaches, you know. And like I say, it's that myth that if you have bugs, you're dirty. It's a sanitation thing. No, it just could be that you brought one from the park. It crawled in from the outside, unbeknowing, accidentally. So
Yeah.
Wait, so you're also a teacher too, in a sort of way you're an educator.
yes,
Yeah.
that's half the job, is educating the customer as to what's really going on.
Yeah, definitely.
So would you say that your career crosses over into teaching as well as even maybe yeah? Would you say this crosses over into teaching as well?
Yes,
So that someone who's interested in educating others could also find somewhat find something in like being a pest control technician. They could find something.
yes, they can.
But they could
They
be
can
a
educate
trainer,
people.
right,
Yes, they
Alonzo?
could be a trainer. They could be a
Mhm.
trainer to educate other pest control technicians. They could be a trainer to educate people as
Mhm.
far as, you know, what pests do. Like I say, not all pests are harmful.
Right.
Pests are beneficial to the conditions, around us. Like I say, the ants, they aerate the ground by them digging the holes and things. They carry food back and forth. The bees, they're pollinating bees. We have to have them. So
So Alonzo,
Okay.
what are 1 to 3 things you wish someone would have told you before becoming a certified pest control technician?
1 to 3, good or bad
Good or
things,
bad?
or good or bad things.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no one told me how rewarding it would be. That's the first thing. How rewarding it would be, and satisfying it'll be. Because, like I say, when I first got into it, I thought I'd just be going in, just going through the motions, doing a routine. But I
Mhm.
have found out so much joy in it. Okay, so that's something I wish somebody had told me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Something wish somebody had told me working outside in Florida in the heat, how bad how bad it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not till you are outside working in the sun in August in 90-degree weather that so those are two things. That's a good thing and a bad thing there.
Yeah, yeah. You gave us that balance.
Yeah, those I wish someone had told me to be, so.
So let me ask you this, Alonzo. I know that we used to have the competitor come to my house in Ohio, and he didn't have, he didn't stay long because he was, a monthly technician. How long sometimes do you have to stay at somebody's house to service it?
Every house is different. If you have no issues, I could do your home in 10 to 15 minutes, just a routine monthly come in and treat if you have no issues. If you have a major issue, I could be there 30 minutes because if you have an issue, I have to identify and investigate why do you have the issue. And sometimes that can be complicated. It takes, going around the whole house inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I say, if you call me and say, Alonzo, I seen one roach in my living room,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm not just going to come in and treat and spray your living room, all around, because that's not getting to the issue. That's just putting a Band-Aid on a situation. Me as a technician, as a certified technician, I'm going to come in and ask you, where did you see it? Was it big? Was it little? What color was it? If you killed it and throwed it away, what side of the house? Then I'm going to look around. First, I'll look around your doors to see if there's any gaps at your doors there.
Okay.
I'll look around, see if there's any boxes, bags on the floor. So I'm kind of a detective to see how this one roach got into your living room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you call me and tell me, well, Alonzo, I cut the lights on in the room and I seen 10 roaches running around, then I know, okay, we have a problem here. Let me see where they're coming from, So I'll go, the main areas that we'll check first, like if they're in the kitchen, is behind the stove and the refrigerator.
Okay.
And behind the appliances, the dishwasher, because every pest needs food and water. And they can always find it behind the refrigerator, the stove, the dishwasher. So that's where, if you have bugs in the kitchen, those are the main areas I would look first to try to find a nest. I'll look around to see if I have a trail. So if you just have a routine monthly service and you have no issues, I could only be in your house 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, because I'm just coming in doing a routine prevention maintenance, So.
That's good. That's good. So go ahead with your next question, Catherine.
So you mentioned having to be a detective and also having to be an educator. I want to know, how does your job cross over with other careers and other interests?
Yes, well, like I say, if you like investigating things and find out, that's that detective mode. So if you have someone that's very inquisitive, they would like this job, because you have to find out where the source is, what's the condition, why. You got to find out the why, because a bug isn't just going to show up just because,
Just
you
to
got to
hang
find
out.
out.
Yeah.
Just to hang out, They don't go down the street and see your house and say, hey, that looks like a nice house. There has to be something in there inviting them in, So you have to be a detective in that way. And then, like I say, you have to educate yourself first. And that's why I'm saying I did in 3 years what it takes 5 years. Because in the state of Florida, they consider, if you've been in the industry for 5 years, that you should have enough knowledge at 5 years to take the state test. It's offered to you. You don't have to take it. But if you inspire, like I say, to have your own company, to move up, then they recommend that after 5 years, you take the state certification. Me, I got in it within my first year and a half. I enjoyed it. I excelled. I was a fast learner. It was mentioned to me, hey, in 5 years, we see you doing this. And I'm like, why do I have to wait 5 years? Let me get the book now.
Yeah.
So, I went in, like I say, I read on my own. I learned, I absorbed all the knowledge that I could. And my manager, like I say, she was a senior, she was a certified technician. I asked a lot of questions,
Mm-hmm.
and like I say, I studied and I felt confident in myself that I could challenge the test. What did I have to lose, So
Yeah.
I took it at 3 years.
Why do you think that some technicians don't become certified though?
Like just in life, people get comfortable in where they at. People
Okay.
get comfortable because also when you get certified, it's a higher rate of pay. It's more
Mhm.
responsibilities.
Okay.
Some people like to just mop the floor. That's all they're satisfied. That level of finance, of income. That's all I want. I just want enough to
get
make
by.
it. To get by.
Uh-huh.
I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I don't want to tell nobody what to do. I want a regular 9 to 5. I want to come in, mop my floors, mop these 3 floors and go home.
Mhm.
So that's how it's the same in the pest industry, or with any job really.
Right.
But in the pest industry, yeah, you don't have to get certified. You don't have to move up,
Mhm.
But like I said, but once you do comes a greater responsibility. It's more liability on you, more
Okay.
weight on you. You could be asked to do more things. Like I said, you could you'll have the access to what we call restricted products.
Okay.
Okay. And those are products that are more stronger than the common
Mhm.
products, So it's kind of like, do you want to just be the man to carry the stick, or you want to be the man that has the gun?
I understand. I get it. I understand. So now go ahead with your next question, Catherine.
Okay. So I want to know, how do other industries affect your job? So you were talking about computer science earlier. Computer science, so like scanning them and knowing like what to do. Is there anything else sort of like that they've come across?
Let me think about it. Yeah, there's other industry. Like I said, the textbook, the person that writes the book that takes in what we say. Like if somebody wants to be a writer, an educator, that different chemicals, somebody that just wants to do chemicals, we could tell them the effects of how the products we're using, and can't you design a product to do something else,
Yeah.
So
So
they
you can
need our
give like
feedback.
ideas, yeah.
Yes.
So you
That's
can bring,
good.
you can bring new ideas into industries. And you can also, and other industries can also help you. So they can bring, okay, so basically you can give them knowledge. They can give you something great to use back, and it just sort of works in that sort of way.
Yes.
So intermingles, yeah.
And I was also thinking about, Catherine, like when you asked that question, I was thinking about, I don't know what it's officially called, but the different individuals that know about different bugs. So if you've never lived in Florida before, they have these bugs. To me, they look like lightning bugs, but they're called like the kissing bugs.
They're called love bugs.
Yeah, love bugs, and they're stuck together. So I would think that, those, and I know that they were like created in a university or something. But I would think that they would have to know about these bugs, and then they can also teach you all about these different bugs, that maybe different areas, different states, especially somebody that's coming in to be a technician from a different state that never even heard of some of these other bugs. As well. So I just think it's amazing. That was a great question, Catherine, how all these different industries and careers affect one another. But Alonzo, what would you tell your younger self?
As far as for the pest technician,
just life in general, like where you are right now. If you was talking to your 16-year-old self, what would you tell yourself?
To invest more.
Why is that? Why would you tell your younger self that?
Just understanding compound interest, and just spending money. Okay, like I said, I'm getting older now, and just set up for your retirements, save more instead of enjoying and spending as much. Just invest more. That's what I would tell a younger person. Now, no matter what career you get into, when you start working, set aside for your retirement, or set aside money to start your own business if that's what you desire to do. But, and
So
if
basically
you
plan for
want
the
time
future.
freedom, plan for the future and plan for time freedom.
Yeah. So last question to you, Alonzo. Why did you want to be a part of the Today I Want to Be products?
Because I wanted to educate other young people and bring them into the field and have them learn from what I've learned, and even from my mistakes. I have a teenage son, and I like to encourage children and teenagers to be all they can be. I mean, I love the title. When I saw the title and what you're doing, I just wanted to be a part of it. And the pest technician industry, people usually don't learn about it until they're older. But if we could get you in at a younger age and educate you and get you to start in the field, then you could be in it for longer. Like I say, the average person that usually gets hired, they're in their 30s. We're not getting people out of high school. And that's another thing that I have mentioned, that maybe we should start an internship, go out to high schools and let us as technicians recruit guys, at a young age to come in and to get the knowledge and the youthfulness. And females, yes.
True. And I really think that I really think that that's a great idea, because like you said, I never met a pest control technician until I had in Ohio we had in our home, until we did have our monthly technician, and it's just, you just don't think about these careers. So that's why I'm telling you, Alonzo, that I'm just so thankful that you're really helping to educate young people about a different route that they can go, especially if they don't mind bugs and rodents, because there's so many of us that don't like them, so you all are a special group of people, and we definitely need you all. And so, it's kind of crazy because sometimes people can look at someone like you and say, oh my gosh, how can you like bugs? But like you say, you are providing a service that we need, and, sometimes I know we are, we're down on cops, but they are the first ones we call, and you all are the first ones we call when we have a problem. And I honestly believe, Alonzo, like just the way that, just from you being on this show and the way that you explain things, like when you were talking about bugs and rodents have to be invited into your home, it's like you really help us to, if I was your customer, you help us have a better understanding of like why these rodents or why these bugs are coming into your home. And I honestly feel that, that's why I'm so passionate about helping kids and youth have a look at their gifts and talents and figure out what God created them to be. Because when you actually have a skill set, a talent, and a gift, then it really boils over into your career. And one, you enjoy your life, and then second, you are more enjoyable to the people you around. You know, because if you hated your job, don't nobody want somebody in their house that with a bad attitude and things like that. So I am definitely thankful for just like your calming spirit, and I definitely see that in you, especially when I met you. And I just, again, I thank you so much for just being a part of the products. I know we started this last year,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely so appreciative of you being a part of the products. I definitely am thankful for you as well, Catherine, for just taking time to write up such thoughtful questions for Alonzo as well. I thank you all as the viewers for just taking time to watch another episode of Today I Want to Be Career Exploration. Like I said before, if you're interested in just staying in contact with Alonzo, his email address is listed in that description box. And if you're interested in any of our products, make sure you go to that description box, and right there next to that little cart, you can click on that link and check out our products as well. We definitely hope that you guys have a great remainder of the night, and we will talk to you all later.